Hi, lovelies. Welcome to today's episode of Personal Grooming with Grace. And I am so excited about today's topic. Today's topic is the Proverbs 31 single. I don't know, but I'm excited. So, a lot of time people think that the Proverbs 31 woman can only be a married woman. We have not really thought about the fact that singles can be a Proverbs 31 woman. And all the verses in that chapter is more of family. She does this for her husband, she does this for her maid servant, she does this for her children. And I mean, we are singles, we don't have children, we don't have family. So how do we fit in? And that is what I want us to have, that conversation, how we can be the Proverbs 31 single. So if you want to enjoy this content, or this content is for you, just stay right here and I will be right back. Now I want us to read the verses from the Bible. And today's episode, we are just looking at the verse 10 to 15. That is Proverbs 31, verse 10 to 15. And I will read and we will break it down to how singles can be those qualities even when they are not married. So I'm reading Proverbs 31, verse 10. It says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her worth is far above rubies." 11. "The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain." 12. "She does him good and not evil all the days of her life." 13. "She seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hand." 14. "She is like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar." And the last verse for today is the 15th. It says that she also rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and a portion for her maid servants. Okay, now let's dive right into it, starting from the verse 10. The first point I actually want to establish is that the Proverbs 31 single is rare. The verse 10 says that who can find her? She's so rare. She is a woman who is not really seen everywhere. When you read Proverbs chapter 7, verse 11 and 12, it describes the strange woman. And one characteristic of a strange woman is that she lacks everywhere. Her feet doesn't stay at home. She lacks in the corner. It says that now in the corner, now in the square. She does not stay home. She's almost everywhere, going everywhere. But that is not the attitude of the Proverbs 31 single. Although you may want to be exposed, as a lot of people or preachers will say, you have to be exposed and all of that. But it's not everywhere that you go. When we are looking for you, we should know where to find you, because there are places that you are not known to be there, or you are not known to associate with that kind of place. So the Proverbs 31 single is rare. Rare in what sense also? Rare in the fact that you do what a lot of people do not do. You know why people say that the Proverbs 31 woman is not an actual woman who lived? Because of the things that she did. She's a woman, it looks like it can't be done. A lot of people won't do that. A lot of people don't do that. And that's why she is rare. So the Proverbs 31 single does things that a lot of people don't do. A lot of people don't do Bible study. The best they can do is a devotion and then they go away. I mean, no time for the Bible. But the Proverbs 31 single is intentional about her spiritual growth. He does Bible study, has days, has times to do Bible study. She is intentional about learning. Lots of people don't like reading. The Proverbs 31 woman is intentional about building her mental capacity. She does things that 99% of the people do not do. And that's who you are as a Proverbs 31 single. So if you want to be a Proverbs 31 single, you have to be rare. Your kind is not found everywhere. You are rare. Now, point number 2, the verse 12. It says that the husband trusts in her, safely trusts in her. The Proverbs 31 woman is trustworthy. Aside you being rare, you have to be trustworthy. Your husband will have full confidence in you, then you should be trustworthy. And your life cannot suddenly turn around in marriage. It should start from now. So my question is, how much do your friends trust you? How much do your family trust you? How much do your boss trust you? Your employee trust you? I mean, can people really trust your word, or you don't walk the talk? So that trust that you earn from them now is that same trust that you will earn from your husband in future. Her husband confidently trusts in her. That is you as a Proverbs 31 single. Can your boss trust you with her business or his business? Or you have the mentality of, it's not my father's business, so I mean, government work is not my father's work, so no. Can people trust you with money? Money. You know that sometimes I say that the things that really lure us or can really expose who we are, 1 is money, 2 is food. Yes. And for money, I don't know. But a lot of people cannot be trusted with money. And what you can be trusted now is what will reflect in future. So can your husband really trust you with his money? Or you are selfish enough to say that my money is my money and I mean we have to spend your money? Or even if the person gives you his money, you can be trusted with his money. That is who a Proverbs 31 single is. You are trustworthy. You are trustworthy. Trustworthy on every side. In your words, in business, in anything, in money, whatever. You are trustworthy. And that is the second thing I want you to know about the Proverbs 31 single. Now let's go to the third one. The Proverbs 31 single or the Proverbs 31 woman was industrious. Let me read. She selects wool and flax and works with her hand. You know, there's something I've identified in my own life. Most of the times, a prior phase always have influence on my next phase, or a prior phase of life or prior season always have influence on my next season. In the sense that if now you are maybe working for people, running errands for people, you don't really have work or you don't really have employment, and people keep sending you, tossing you around, do this, do that, and you are doing it diligently, you know what will happen? In the next phase, when you get a work or you get employment or you run your own business, all those times that you were not idle and you were running errands for people or you were serving people, those time become your own time. And a wise woman make use of those times. So if people were sending you always, and now you have all those time that you don't run errands for people, or you don't work for people, to yourself, you are able to make use of that time or that space or period of time that you have, and you work for yourself. And that's where you grow and you become prosperous, because you are investing the time into yourself. In your previous phase, you did not know idleness. So now it's not a time that you are coming to be idle, because you are not used to it. So when you work diligently, when you are industrious, it reflects in your next phase. I always say that how my parents made me work hard. In fact, I I was working hard to the extent that I felt my mother wasn't my real mom. I felt my auntie was actually my mom, and because my auntie pampers me, but my mom will let you work, especially when I was growing up. She will let you work. So I felt she's not my mom. But that time that I was working, when I moved out of the house, I realized that I am used to working within the day, because even when you are sleeping, it looks like she's jealous. When you are sleeping in the afternoon, it looks like she's jealous. So I was able to use the time I have within the day, that I am no more cooking, selling, doing this, doing that for myself. And that's when I started investing in myself, because you'd have to use the time for something. You'd have to read. I wasn't used to sleeping in the afternoon, so I would have to use it for something. And that is how it becomes. So now that you are not doing anything, maybe you are not employed, keep serving, keep being industrious, because you will use it. It will reflect in your next season. The Proverbs 31 woman was industrious, but now that you are not married, you have no children, what are you doing with your time? Keep serving. As a single person, if you have to go to work at 7 a.m. and you have to close at 7 p.m. just for you to put things in place, keep the whole business running, or just for you to help improve something, do it. You are not going back to your children or your husband. You stay alone. Use the time wisely. Sacrifice for people. Even if your boss is mean, do it for yourself. You know why? I'll read something in Luke chapter 16, verse 10 to 13 for you. Because the world works on principles, and even if no one is looking, but I'm telling you, someone is actually looking. And even if no one is looking, God is watching, and He will reward you. So let me read Luke 16, 10 to 11. It says that he who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. And he who is unjust in what is least is unjust also in much. Therefore, if you have not been faithful in the righteous mammon, that is money, who will commit to your trust the true riches? And if you have not been faithful in what is another man's, if you have not been faithful with another man's business, not been faithful with another man's school that you are taking care of, not be faithful with another man's anything, another man's money, who will give you your own? So this is what I just want you to know, because there are principles. So please sacrifice for people. Be industrious now, because when you reach the next season, you will carry your hard-working attitude, because you would have built the attitude of service, build the attitude of being selfless, and then you will carry it along into your marriage, where you become selfless to your husband, selfless to your children, selfless to your in-laws, and that is who the virtuous woman is. So this is how you have to be as a virtuous single. If you have to sacrifice your weekend, your Saturday or Sunday for an elderly woman in your church or in your community, just to help the person cook for the week or clean or something, please do it. Be industrious. Find avenues and help save others, or help devote your energy for people. There's one elderly woman I stayed with, and whenever she wants you to do something for her, she will say, Grace, can you please borrow me your strength? And it's very funny to me because she is not strong to do something, so she'll be like, can you please borrow me your strength? Borrow people your strength. Now borrow people your time. People who have a lot of money, a lot of other things, they also lack in some other things. Some people, they lack in time. They don't have time, but they have money. Some people, they don't have strength, but they have something that you also need. They have counsel for you. They have advice. Someone will say, advice may be the other. If you have that mentality, it's up to you. But it's about time that we change how we think, because these are the little things that God looks on it and lifts us gradually. So please, let's be industrious even in our single years, and then we will carry it along for sure in our married life. The last one I will talk about in this episode is that the single person prepares or plan his family's meal. How do you do that? Because you don't have a family of your own. How do you prepare or plan your family's meal? The final one for this episode is that the Proverbs 31 single prepares or plans her family meal in advance. How do I mean by this? Because you do not have a family, obviously, of your own. And who are you going to cook for? But yes, the Proverbs 31 woman, the verse 14 and 15 says that she's like a merchant ship who brings her food from afar. She wakes up whilst it is still dawn, or whilst it is yet day, and then prepares food for her family, and then even serve her maid servants. Now you are not married, but you know what you can do. You've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, cooking videos on Facebook, on Instagram, recipes. People are sharing a lot of recipes that you are not familiar with. Some of them you know, others you do not know. New recipes that you are learning. You can get a folder, PowerPoint, and then write down all the recipes that you are learning, because you will not have the luxury of time to revisit all those recipes. You may even forget. You don't even know that they exist. You will not even find the video again. So now that you are watching, if the food or the recipe is interesting and you feel like, this will be so great, please document it down. Open your Word on your PC, open your PowerPoint, document it down, section it, breakfast food ideas, lunch ideas, supper ideas, baby food ideas. It's not now that you have given birth that you want ideas for how to make baby food for your children. So what do I add? No. Prepare now. Plan and prepare your family meal now. So whatever you are reading, whatever you are watching, please document it. Document it down. Because you cannot prepare for war at war. You only prepare for war before war. It's not now that the kids are crying and all of that you are coming to look for recipes and access. Even activities will even let you forget, and then you keep feeding your family with the regular meal, which sometimes become boring. Even you yourself, when you take a lot of rice, it becomes boring. You have to be able to change and spice what you eat. And I think it is now that we can do this. It's now that we can plan and prepare our family meals in advance. So when you watch your YouTube videos and you watch all the how people, maybe you do granola soup this way, someone does it this way. Sometimes you have to vary, because sometimes when and how you put what ingredients just change the whole taste of the food. So you have to be able to learn from people, and as you learn, don't forget to document it, because even the faintest pen, I think, is sharper than our brain. So you should be able to put it down so that you can go back when you get there to be able to review it and then serve your family with some really special meals. So I'll end this episode here, and I'll continue the next episode from the next verse 16, and then we'll take it from there. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next. Until then, please execute what you have learned. So take care of yourself and execute what you have learned. Bye.